जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam thematic series 1 and 2. We are still discussing the thematic series 1, the first three verses. And up till now, we have covered the third verse, Nigama Kalpataror Ghalitam Phalam, Srila Prabhupada's commentary. In the last week, we saw Srila Prabhupada's commentary on this verse. We elaborately discussed the entire Bhaktivedanta purport to this. Prabhupada speaks about the glory of Vedic knowledge, Nigama Kalpataror Ghalitam, Nigama, he speaks. And then he speaks about rasa, sense gratification, and the original rasas, the mukhya and the gauna. And the sum total of all these rasas is called as priti or affection. And there is the material rasa and the spiritual rasa. The material rasa is the rasa which we taste in the items what we eat. And then a superior mental rasa is the rasa in the relationships in this material world, which are perverted reflections of the original relationship which we have in Krishna. So the pure rasa can be tasted only in one's constitutional position or in spiritual existence. So the science of rasa is what is we are going to get from the Bhagavatam. And then the glory of Sukadeva Goswami who was liberated from birth, Shukamukad Amrita Dravya Sammitam. So that's how we discussed Prabhupada's commentary. Today we will discuss Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary on this verse. Nigamakalpataror ghalitam phalam Shukamukad Amrita Dravya Samyutam Pipata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavakaha. O knows of rasa, rasika, O fortunate souls, bhuy bhavaka, constantly drink. Muhu pibata, constantly drink. From the mouth of Sukdev, Sukhamukad, the Bhagavatam, the fruit of the tree of the Vedas which has dropped from the tree to this earth. Nigama kalpa taror ghalitam phalam. Bhuvi, it has come on this earth, which is immortal liquid. Amrita dravya samyutam, which is the essence of sweetness and which includes all types of liberation. Rasam alayam. So this is Vishwanath Chakra Thakur's translation of this verse. So let's go into Vishwanath Chakra Thakur's commentary. In the previous verse 112 of the Bhagavatam, the powers of Bhagavatam to capture the Lord in the heart were described. So, what was that line which expressed the power of the Bhagavatam to capture the Lord in the heart? Anyone remembers? What was that line of that verse in 112? Mentions that Srimad Bhagavatam can capture the Lord in the heart. Anyone? Try it. Or we'll show the verse. Maybe then it'll be easy for you all to answer. What is that power? Which line of this verse mentions the power of Bhagavatam to capture the Lord in the heart? Who will answer this? Archana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. श्रीमद् Bhagavate Mahamuni Krute Kimva
That is who composed the Bhagavatam, but the power of the Bhagavatam to capture the Lord in the heart. Which line of the verse?
Sadhyo Rudha Varudhe. Last
Atra. Sadhyo Ridya Avarudyate Atra. And the Bhagavatam can capture the Lord in the heart for those who are accomplished, Kritibi. But those who are not accomplished, it will happen over a period of time. So Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is referring to that previous line. That's the connection between this verse and the next verse commentary. That's how acharyas write commentaries. There's a logical link in the flow, and Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, right in his beginning of the commentary, he's mentioning. In this verse, the sweetness of the Bhagavatam is described. So the previous verse described the powers of the Bhagavatam to capture the Lord in the heart. And this verse, the verse theme is the sweetness of Bhagavatam. Nigama refers to the Vedas. The Veda is a desire tree because it naturally gives fruit in the form of various purusharthas, human goals, artha, dharma, kama, and moksha. Now, which are described by those who resort to it. Now, what you can observe here is Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, the dharma, artha, kama, moksha is the natural sequence. But Vishwanath Chakra Thakur in his commentary changes the sequence and he puts first artha and then dharma and kama and moksha. Anyone can think about what is the reason Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is doing this. We have discussed a little bit briefly in Prabhupada's commentary when we went through the commentary of 112. But what is the reason? Usually we know that the sequence is dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. But Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is, first in the sequence he puts artha, dharma, kama, moksha. Why? What is the reason? Anyone? Think about it. Anyone who will try this? Yes, Dr. Archana Mataji.
Prabhuji, it's just a logical thinking. Grahastha people has to earn and they have to support the all temples or the brahmanas. So it could be one reason Purushartha starts with your karma and earning the things and supporting other systems.
Okay, quite true. Vishwanath Chandra Thakur gives the sequence here as Artha first because one performs dharma only for Artha only. This is what Prabhupada brought out in his purport, if you see. That one doesn't take to dharma because of dharma, one takes to dharma because of Artha. So that's why he puts Artha first. So uh, that is the answer. And that's why when in the second chapter, when we will go through the series of verses. In the second chapter, when the definition of pure devotion is given, uh, धर्मस्य अपवर्गस्य नार्तो अर्थाय उपकल्पते नार्थस्य धर्म एकांतस्य कामो लाभ ही स्मृत. Dharma has to be performed for not liberation here. Apavarg can liberation it can refer to for bhakti yoga prema and not for artha, not for the purpose of artha. So if you perform dharma, artha will come. But one who is dharma ekantasya, one who is fixed in the goal of prema, you know, he will not use the artha for calm. He'll use the artha for propagating Krishna consciousness. So in one sense, artha comes first. So that's why Vishwanath Chakra Thakur in his commentary states artha first. However, because of its nature as a tree, being magnanimous, fulfilling everyone's desire, it also gives the fruit known as the Bhagavatam, since some people desire that. So this tree is magnanimous and it fulfills everyone's desires. So the Bhagavatam Kalpataru also gives the fruit in the form of Bhagavatam Prema. Bhagavatam also means that which belongs to Bhagavan as the proprietor. This implies that he alone gives the scripture to his devotees and thus persons other than them do not have rights to it. The Lord himself gives Bhagavatam. Ghalitam means that it falls down of its own accord when ripened on the tree, not by force. Not by force. So the mango, when it's ripe, automatically it falls down. So similarly, the Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of the Vedic tree, and it comes from the spiritual world. It cannot be, artificially uh, pulled out without going through the bona fide Guru Shishya Parampara. One cannot relish the rasa of the Bhagavatam. Thus, it is completely full of sweetness. Even after falling from a high position in the tree, it does not break, nor does it lose its sweetness. So, when a fruit falls from the tree, it breaks and it mixes with the mud, and we cannot relish the full sweetness of the fruit. So, this Bhagavatam, which is the ripened fruit of the Vedas, although it falls from the high position from Vaikuntha, it comes. Firstly, it does not break and it does not lose its sweetness. This is because it comes down from the highest position from Narayan to the branch of Brahma and then to the lower branch of Narad, then to Vyas and finally to the mouth of Shuka. This is the Guru Shishya Parampara. Thus, without being damaged, it is endowed with liquid sweetness like honey, dravya, dravya samyatam, pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam. No, nigama kalpa taror ghalitam phalam shuka mukad amrita. It is amrita dravya. Dravya means it is liquid. Samyutam, it is fully endowed with that. The parrot Shuka has even made an opening in the fruit with his beak for bringing out the sweetness. Shuka Mukad, it is coming from the mouth of Shukdev Goswami. Moreover, having been tasted by him, that fruit becomes even sweeter, like the Maha Prasad. The Maha Prasad is the bhoga which is offered to the Lord, and when that Mahaprasad is taken or tasted by the pure devotee, then its potency increases. It becomes Mahaprasad. And one who is able to get that, he is getting more mercy. So this Bhagavatam is coming from the Mukh of Shukadev Goswami. who has pure love in the heart, and that's why it has become more tastier. Moreover, it remains unbroken, coming down step by step from the branch of Suta and others. So it's coming from the branch here from Suta Goswami and in the Guru Shish Parampara, our founder Acharya. What is implied here is that without the Guru Parampara, one cannot drink Bhagavatam in its unbroken form just by trying to taste it through the use of one's limited intelligence. So this is like the bee, uh, uh, which is there, honey is there in the liquid glass, and the lid is closed, and it is sitting on the glass externally. It cannot taste the honey. So the honey is inside. So without coming in the Guru Shish Parampara, one cannot taste the nectar of the Bhagavatam. How should the fruit be consumed? That is explained. So how this fruit should be consumed? Paragraph 2. One should drink it, for this fruit is the essence of taste, rasam, devoid of skin, seed, and other objectionable parts. So this fruit is to be, you know, drink. It has to be drank. So there are different kinds of fruits. Some foods are chewed. Some foods have, you drink it like that. There are four different varieties. So, in a drinkable form, it is easy. Sometimes, the child doesn't want to chew the food and give. So when it is given in the form of a liquid, then it is easy to for the child to take. So similarly, this fruit should be drank. And in South India, you have that rasam. So rasam is very, very tasty to drink. So here the Bhagavatam rasam is a concept of the rasa, which is the primary rasas. So that rasa you have to drink, and it is without skin, seed, or other objectionable parts. Laya means liberation, sayujya, or attaining the conditions of salokya, srashti, samipya, and sarupya. The word alayam then means that the fruit extends beyond these types of liberation because Bhagavatam is famous for glorifying the Lord's pastimes. So laya means liberation, the five kinds of liberation, of which the least is sahajya. But alayam means it is beyond liberation. Or laya can refer to the eighth sattviki bhav called as pralaya, fainting. So there are the ashta sattvic vikars, hair standing on end, tears coming from eyes. So these eight terms are there. And one of the sattvic bhavas is pralaya. Pralaya is fainting. Out of deep ecstasy, one faints hearing the Bhagavatam. Sometimes, when our near and dear ones whom we truly love, and we have a very deep relationship with them, and suddenly you hear a shock news and that they have left the world. So this has an impact on our mind. And hearing this news, because of deep attachment, we collapse, we faint. It happens, right? So similarly, because of the deep relation a pure devotee possesses with Krishna, he faints hearing the Bhagavatam. So in the material world, we have this experience of pralaya, fainting because of uh, material conditions. Similarly, in the spiritual conditions, it happens. One should drink until one develops the eight symptoms up to the final one, fainting. So up till one should drink the Bhagavatam until he develops, the final symptom of the Ashta Sattvic Vikar, that is fainting. So there are two experiences which we can relate. We cannot relate to this experience of the Ashta Sattvic Vikars. But when the Bhagavatam class begins, we faint. We go in Tamaguna and go to sleep. This is first. And the second is, a drunkard. He keeps on drinking, drinking, drinking up till the point where he collapses and faints. And when he comes back to consciousness, again he drinks. So, like that. So, one should drink. Similarly, the spiritual nectar, the rasa of Bhagavatam, until one develops, comes to the point of pralaya. So, though one will not be able to drink the nectar, one has fainted. When the fainting wears off, one again awakens to consciousness and begins drinking until one faints again. So, this, the drunkards do this. So, similarly, one should keep on drinking the Bhagavatam like that. Similarly, one cannot give up drinking. So, Krishna Prem, Mahaprabhu in the Chaitanya Charitamrit mentions is like a hot sugarcane juice. When you're drinking a hot sugarcane juice, when the sugarcane liquid is boiled, and you pick up that is more nectarian. It is called as kakvi. It's almost like neither solid nor liquid. Kakvi is very, very nectarian, and in fact, at a certain point in the boiling of the sugarcane juice, the kakvi is taken out, and it has a lot of health benefits according to Ayurveda also. So this hot kakvi, if you try to drink it, it's very hot. It burns the tongue, but the nectar of that kakvi is so much that you can't stop. So similarly, the Bhagavatam rasa is like that. One cannot stop drinking. Thus, the word muhur continuously is used. Muhu, keep on drinking. Or muhur can have another meaning. Though one has drunk it, but again drinking it, one develops more relish for it. So everyone has experienced the Bhagavatam. You repeatedly keep on reading, you'll get newer and newer nectar. So you should repeatedly study the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is surprising. Aho, alas, there's an exclamation. So how is it, you keep on drinking and the nectar keeps on increasing. Oh, knows of rasa, rasika. So the knows of rasa know this. How Bhagavatam, uh, newer and newer understanding comes from a different angle. This refers only to the devotees, for they develop rati bhava, which becomes the stahi bhav. Stahi bhav is our constitutional rasa with Krishna, whether it is sakya, rasya, vatsalya, or madhurya. So the rasikas can relish this Bhagavatam rasa. In that position, they can taste the rasa of Bhagavatam. Only in that position. So even the sadhakas can taste, but they are trying to understand the Bhagavatam. They're trying to understand the explanation. Gyan yogis and karma yogis cannot claim this position. Oh, auspicious persons, bhavuka. So the bhavukas are these, one who have attained this bhava. You are most auspicious, and all others are inauspicious. That is the meaning of bhavuka. There is another reading of bhavuka. Paragraph 3, another reading of bhavuka. This would mean persons who perform actions for tasting the beautiful. Bhattanayak says that a permanent emotion is established by actions relating to tasting the beautiful. So, bhava is spiritual emotions, and endowed with the spiritual emotions, bhava, one does actions. One does actions. Just like, to give again a mundane example, when the boy is attracted to a beautiful girl, he experiences emotions in his heart. These are material emotions for your kind information. And attracted to these emotions, he performs actions so that he can attain the beautiful girl. So similarly, the Srimad is beautiful Bhagavatam, is endowed with permanent spiritual emotions in the form of Sthai Bhav, and endowed with that, one performs actions. Taking this meaning, Bhavaka indicates person who appreciates the Lord, who is Rasa personified. So the Vishaya here is Krishna. That is another meaning of Bhavaka. If you have any questions, you can always raise your hands. Okay. Paragraph 4. Starting with Brahmavid Apnoti Param, the Taittiriya Upanishad describes the creation of the Annamaya Purush after listing elements starting with Akash coming from Brahman. So the Lord is rasa personified. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, this whole concept of rasa is discussed. The development of the Purusha, Annamaya Purusha, Pranamaya Purusha. So rasa vahisa. So now that is being explained in the paragraph 4. In the Taittiriya Upanishads, uh, the creation of the elements beginning with the subtlest Akash from Brahman. Brahman is the absolute truth. We discuss. Different forms integral to the previous one are then successively described. The Annamaya Purusha, Pranamaya Purusha, Manomaya Purusha, Vijnanamaya Purusha, and finally the Anandamaya Purusha, which is considered to be Brahman. Brahma Sutra 1.1.13 describes this. Anandamayo Bhyasyat. So this Anandamaya Purusha is described in the Brahma Sutra. From the repetition of the words, Anandamaya refers to the Supreme Lord. So the Anandamaya refers to the Supreme Lord, Satchidananda Vigraha. But it also says Ananda Atma Brahma Pucha Pratishta. Impersonal Brahman is only the tail of that Anandamaya Purusha. Taittiriya Upanishads 2.5. So just like the peacock is very beautiful and the peacock tail is also beautiful, but the peacock tail's beauty is lying in the peacock. So the absolute truth is personal and he is filled with rasa, Anandamaya rasa, and the tail is compared to the impersonal Brahman. Impersonal Brahman. Brahma Pucha Pratishta. Brahma Pucha Pratishta. The Lord is the basis of that Brahman. Brahmano hi Pratishta Aham, as in the 14th chapter, verse 27, it is mentioned. After that, the Upanishad says, Raso Vaisa Rasam hi evayam labdva anandi bhavati. The Lord is Rasa. Realizing the Lord, one attains bliss. So this is, after explaining that Brahma Pucha Pratishtha, that the Brahman is the basis of this Pucha, tailor, then the next Taittiriya Upanishad verse says, Rasam hi eva labdvam. Attaining that rasa, one anandi bhavati, one attains bliss. So Saha refers to that person. Saha means he. So it refers to the personal aspect of the absolute truth. But does Saha refer to the Anandamaya Purusha, the Lord, under discussion, or the Brahma Pucha, impersonal Brahman? So this question he only puts forth. This is a Purva Paksha, puts forth the argument. Now he answers. This doubt cannot be considered, for after discussion of the different Purushas, to have Saha refer to the Brahma Pucha would break the structure of the progression expressed in the text. So I already explained that Saha refers to the person. The Lord, of course, is well known to be Rasa since he is filled with bliss. The Lord is superior to the Brahman, being its support. Brahmano hi pratishta aham, Krishna is saying. I am the person, basis of the impersonal Brahman. So I is that person, Krishna is saying, and the impersonal Brahman is resting on him, he's saying. Gita says, Brahmano hi pratishta aham. I am the basis of Brahman. This statement as well shows that Krishna is superior to Brahman. So the uh, Raso Vahisa refers to Krishna in his personal feature and not the Brahma Pucha Pratishta, not the impersonal Brahman. Now, to after establishing and giving the Siddhanta here, he gives a Praman from the Bhagavatam, how the Lord is, the basis of rasa. The Lord is filled with rasa. All the rasas were experienced when Krishna entered the arena of Kamsa in that fight. मल्लानामश्निर्नाम नरवर स्त्रीणां स्मरो मूर्तिमान् गोपानां स्वजनो शतां क्षितिभुजां शास्ता स्वपित्र शिशु मृत्युर्भोजपते विराड विदिशां तत्त्वं परं योगिनां वृष्णीनां परदैवतेति विदितो रंगं गतः साग्रज. The various groups of people in the arena regarded Krishna in different ways. Vidito Rangam, that Ranga, Ranga means the arena. When he entered with his elder brother, Gata, Gata means he entered. Sagraja, Agraja is referring to Balram. The wrestlers saw Krishna as a lightning bolt, Mallana Mashnir. The men of Mathura as the best of the males, Ninam Naravara. The women as Cupid in person, Srinam Smaro Murtinam. So this is the conjugal rasa, the Madhuri ras. The cowherd men as their relatives, Gopanam Swajanam. This is the Sakya ras. The impious rulers are the chastiser, Shatam, Shitibujam, Shashta, Shashta, the punisher. The impious rulers as chastiser. I read this. His parents as their child, Swapitra Shushu. This is the Vatsalyaras. The king of Bhojas as death. Mrityu Bhojapate, Bhayanak Ras. The unintelligent as the material form, Virad, Avidusham. This is Shantras. The yogis as the absolute truth, Tattva Param Yoginam. And the Vrishnis as their supreme worshipable deity, Vrishnam Para Deva Ta Iti. So this refers to the Dasiras. So all the rasas were experienced. So that's why Krishna is the personified form of rasa. Rasa Vaisya. Krishna is Akhila Rasamrita Murti. Paragraph 6. Sridhar Swami explains that this verse illustrates that Krishna Bhagavan is the form of all rasas combined, starting with Mother Ras, because the verse describes that different types of persons realize different rasas in Krishna just on seeing him. In other words, Krishna is the form of all rasas, Akhila Rasamrita Murti. Thus, both Gita and Bhagavatam proclaimed Krishna to be rasa. So, both Gita and Bhagavatam proclaim to be rasa. Bhagavatam, the Praman is given here. Mallanam Ashwini Rinan. Gita, where is the Praman given for Gita that Krishna is rasa? Anyone think about it? Where is the Praman given that Gita, Krishna is known as rasa? What is the Praman from the Gita that Krishna is rasa? Anyone think about it? What Praman you can give? Yes, Birendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandotnam. Prabhu, is it Rasoham of Sukonte,
I
Prabhasmi
was
Sushruti?
sure that you will answer this. Of course, Krishna is mentioning Rasavam Apsukanteya, but this very verse, Brahmano hi pratishtaham, that very verse also mentions, if you go through that verse, 14, I think it is 1427. ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम अमृतस्याव्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य धर्मस्य सुखस्य ऐकांतिकस्य. So if Brahman there is, this happiness, aikantika happiness, then what rasa must be there in aham, in the person Krishna also. Of course, rasam apsukante is the right verse also, but this is also the praman. So both the Gita and the Bhagavatam pramans are given here. Thus, both Gita and Bhagavatam proclaim Krishna to be rasa. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is referring the Mallana Mashnir verse and then Brahmanohi Pratishtam. The Jiva attaining the Lord who is rasa attains the highest level of bliss. For after this, the discussion of bliss is concluded with the word Anandasya Mimamsa Bhavati. This concludes the examination of bliss. So, Taittiriya Upanishads 8.2 mentions that this concludes The jiva, after he attains the Anandamaya Purusha, he attains rasa. So that's the conclusion of examination of rasa. So that's how the whole flow is here. Or the meaning can be that other forms of the Lord, on seeing Krishna, become filled with bliss. Mahavishnu also becomes filled with bliss seeing the form of Krishna. So that is another meaning. This is evident from the following verse. Dvijatmaja me yuvayor dridikshuna mayopatina puvidharma gupyate kalavatirnav avaner bharasuran hetavha bhuyas tvarat tvarayattam tvarayattam antime. Lord Mahavishnu said, I brought Mayo Upanita. Upanita means to bring near. Maya. Maya means by me. The Brahmana's son, Dvijatma, here because I wanted to see the two of you. Mayo, Yuvayor, Dridikshuna. Dridikshuna means to see, both of you, Arjuna and Krishna. My expansions, Kala, who have descended on earth, Avatirno, Avaner, to save the principles of religion. Bhuvi Dharma Gupyate. As soon as you finish killing the demons, Asuran, Hatveha, who burden the earth, Avaner, Bhara, quickly come back here to me. Bhuvas, Tva, Ra, Yatem, Antime. So this is Mahavishnu speaking after having darshan of Krishna. So even the avataris relish rasa in the avatari. That's the point here being made by Vishwanath Thakur. And then this is a famous verse spoken by Uddhav. Krishna possesses that suitable form for human pastimes. Yan martil lilopekam. To show the full capacity of his yogamaya. Swa yogamaya balam darshita grihitam. That form astonishes even the Lord of Vaikunta. Vishmapanam swasya cha saubhagridhe. It is a pinnacle of auspicious qualities. Parampadam, and enhances the beauty of his ornaments. Bhushana, Bhushanangam. So when the Lord of Vaikunta is attracted to the pastimes of Krishna, even Lakshmi wants to enter the last Leela. So that is the beauty of Krishna and the rasa of Krishna. In any case, Krishna is rasa, the fruit, but this fruit is not directly situated on the tree of the Vedas. This fruit is not situated on the tree of the Vedas. It has fallen down, Ghalitam, nearby. This object, rasa, is not on the tree itself. It is not to be searched out in the Vedas, but rather it is found in the mouth of Sukdev. Vedeshu durlabam adurlabam atma. So if you search the entire Vedas, you will not find Krishna. Atma Bhakto, his pure devotee. So Shukamukad. Now Vishnu Chakrathakur is explaining Shukamukad. One can say that Vyas, knowing that this fruit is very tasty, took it and put it in the mouth of his son out of affection. Usually the father wants to give it to the son, whatever is very dear to him, because he's attached. So maybe Vyas was attached to his son, that's why he gave it to Sukha. No, because only Sukha was qualified to taste the Bhagavatam Rasa because Sukha was a liberated soul from birth. Shukamukad can also indicate a cause. The rasa is sweeter because of coming from the mouth of Sukadev. This sweetness of rasa is shown in Sukadev's statements such as the following. Esham aham priyatma sutascha saka guru surudo daiva ishtam. Because the devotees, Esham priyatma, accept me, ishtam aham, as their friend, saka, their relative, their son, sutascha, preceptor, guru, benefactor, surida, the supreme deity, Daivam, they cannot be deprived of their positions at any time. This is Kapil Dev speaking. Bhuvi then indicates Vraja Bhumi. So this is Braj Ras. So this rasa of Vrindavan, Bhuvi here, not a deeper meaning Vishwanath Chakravarti is giving. Bhuvi as not earth, but Vraj Bhumi. Bhavuka and Rasika indicate the dear gopis. O dear relishers of Krishna's rasa, drink the sweetness of rasa arising his form, Bhagavatam. Or Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam can mean relish rasa up to the point of embracing Krishna, Alayam. So here, very Rasika commentary Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is mentioning. Although we saw Alayam can refer to the five kinds of liberation, but it refers to Ashta Sattvic Vikars in the form of, the last being Pralaya. So Bhagavatam is Bhagwan. So relish the sweetness of Krishna by embracing him. A deeper meaning is here. Krishna's rasa is indestructible, Amrita, and flows away quickly from the mind to the eye, Dravya. So Dravya meaning is given. Therefore, drink that indestructible nectar in the form of his lips. The conjugal rasa is being revealed here. So relish the beauty of Krishna's beauty from the eyes, from the mind, drink it through the eyes, and then, it refers to conjugal rasa of tasting the nectar of Krishna's lips. In this case, Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam means Raganuga Bhakti, which is fully ripened on the tree of the Vedas. So here Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is connecting this to Raganuga Bhakti. This fully ripened fruit is Raganuga Bhakti, following after the sentiments of the gopis, which is the highest type of love. So one can relish the Bhagavatam Ras, only a Raganuga Sadhakana can deeply relish the Bhagavatam Ras, following the Ragatmika Bhaktyas, who are the eternal associates, and here it is referring to the gopis in conjugal Ras. This is an acceptable meaning because, as mentioned in the Brahad Vaman Puran, the Vedas, taking up that type of bhakti, accepted the forms of hundreds and thousands of gopis and drank the sweet rasa of his lips. So this is referring to the Shrutichari gopis. This very secret meaning can be seen in the prayers of the personified Vedas, 1087. Some persons explain the phrase Brahmano Pratishtaham in another way. Sorry. I don't know why this came up. I'll have to close it. Second. Yeah. So up till now, I hope the explanation is clear. We are going to paragraph 10. Anyone has any questions? Vishwanath Chakra Thakur's purport. Yes, Virendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam.
Yeah.
Prabhu, with this discussion, it is understood that rasa is being, it can be realized only by the devotees who are at bhava and prema level. So those who are below, is it just rasa bhas? How it is?
Okay, good, interesting question. Rasa is relished in all stages of sadhana, but the degree varies. When sadhaka attains the adhikar to practice Raganuga Bhakti, he starts relishing the rasa more deeper and is free from the material rasas. And with Raganuga sadhana, when his Raganuga sadhana matures and attains perfection, the sadhana bhakti becomes sadhya bhakti at the stage of bhava. And then rasa in relationship with the Lord, he starts relishing. A Raganuga sadhaka relishes rasa in having the darshan of the Lord, having tasting the Nam Ras, tasting the Bhagavatam, and even those who have not come to this platform, who are in Vaidhi sadhana, they are also relishing rasa, but the anarthas are preventing the full relishment of the rasa. So there is taste, and that's why we sustain our spiritual life, because we are relishing some kind of taste which is very distinct to the all the material taste of this material world. And that's why it is there even in Vaidhi sadhakas. But because of anarthas, we are not able to fully relish it. But we are able to, and that's why Krishna gives that in the form of mercy of his pure devotees speaking katha who are relishing that rasa, and we experience some droplets there, or in the festivals, or in Krishna Prasadam, in reading the Bhagavatam, like that. Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you.
So we are now on the 10th paragraph. After explaining that Krishna's rasa and one should release the Madhurya rasa, how the Amrita Dravya refers to the gopis through their eyes drinking the beauty of Krishna and drinking the nectar of his lips. So it's very, you know, uh, quite intimate, confidential pastimes Vishnu Chakra Thakur is mentioning. But of course, it's very philosophical also. You can see how philosophically establishes Krishna as Rasa Vaisyaha. Certainly they do. Some persons explain the phrase Brahmana Pratishtam in another way. Certainly they do, but such explanations should be regarded as incorrect since they are out of context and fanciful. The explanation given here is correct. The right explanation Vishnu Thakur has given. Mam cha yo vebicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samiti detan brahma bhuyaya kalpate brahmano hi pratishthaham amritavyas amritasyavasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukasya cha. The meaning of these verses as follows. So the correct explanation now Vishwanath Chakravarti is going to give. Though a person may question, how can one attain Brahman by bhakti, and how can one attain realization of one Brahman without qualities by the worship of the Lord? You can attain realization of Brahman by worshipping me, because I am the shelter, Pratishta, of even the Brahman, famous in the Shrutis as the shelter of everything. Pratishta here means that in which something is standing. Pratishta. Pratishta means shelter as well as many Shruti texts, such as the Taittiriya Upanishads. I am the shelter of liberation. Amritasya. So the Gyanis, they also practice Jnananga, but also practice Anga of Bhakti to attain liberation. If this Bhakti would have referred to Ananya Bhakti, then how by Ananya Bhakti one will attain Brahman? By Ananya Bhakti one will attain Bhagwan. So the Gyanis, this is the 14th chapter, and the 13 to 18 chapters describe the Gyan Yoga section of the Gita. So they practice also Bhakti along with the Angas of Gyan, and that's why, because they have the desire for liberation, so they transcend the modes and attain liberation. So here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is bringing out that, Amrita means liberation. This meaning is made clear by the word avyasya, indestructible, since this would exclude the Amrita of the heavenly planets. So the heavenly of the Amrita of the heavenly planets, is destroyed. Shaya happens there. But this Amrita of the Brahma Jyoti is Akshaya or Avyayasya. Vaya, there is no Vaya. I am also the shelter of Bhakti Dharmasya, which is continuous, Shashvata, being present as sadhana and as the result of sadhana, prem. The result of sadhana is prem. I am the shelter of prema, aikantikasya, sukasya, the goal of sadhana bhakti. Because everything is dependent on me, by worshipping me with a desire for merging into impersonal Brahman, one can merge into the Brahman and attain the quality of Brahman. In support of this, Vishnu Puran says, Shubha Ashayasya Chittasya Sarvagasya Achala Atmana. Vishnu is the shelter of all auspiciousness, and the Brahman. So again, there is a second Praman from the Vishnu Puran that he is the Ashraya of Brahman, because Brahman quality is Achala Atmana. Achala Atmana. Brahman is, Achala. It is Achala. So here again, Vishnu is the shelter there. According to Sridhar Swami, Sarva, Sarva, Sarvagasya Atmana means that Vishnu is the shelter of even the impersonal Brahman, even the shelter Brahman. This confirms what the Lord himself says, Brahmano hi pratishta aham. Vishnu is the shelter, Krishna is the shelter of Brahman. Vishnu Dharma, in describing Narka Dwadasi, says, Prakrito Purushe Chaiva Brahmani Apicha Sa Prabhu Yatheka Eva Sarvatma Vasudeva Vyavastita. Vasudeva is situated, Vasudeva Vyavastita, as the soul of all things. Yatheka Eka Eva Sarva Atma. In Prakriti, the Purusha and the Brahman. Prakrito Purushe Chaiva Brahmana Apicha Prabhu. The Prabhu is the shelter of Prakriti, Purusha, the Purusha avatars, and even Brahman. So this is another reference, how Krishna is the shelter of Brahman. Also Vishnu Dharma, in describing Masak, Mask, Ma Aksha worship, says, Yata Achutasya Tam Parata Parastasmat Sa Brahma Bhutat Parata Paratma Tata Achuta Tvam Kuru Vanchitam Tam Mamapadam Cha Paha Pahara Prameya. Just as Achut, Yatha Achuta, Paramatma, Paratma, is superior to all others, Parata Parastasmat, Parasmat, he is superior to Brahman, Sa Brahma Bhutat Parata. Therefore, unlimited Achuta, Tata Achuta, you should fulfill my wish. Tvam Kuru Vanchita, and remove me from all dangers. So this is from the Vishnu Dharma. So Achyut is superior to Paramatma, is superior to Brahman. So Vishwanath Chakra Thakur has given this quotation from Vishnu Dharma. He has given the quotation from again the Vishnu Dharma from the Narka Dwadasi. He has given the quotation from the Gita, Brahmano Pratishtaham, and he has given the quotation from again Vishnu Puran, one more. So all this prove that Krishna is superior to Brahman. In Harivamsh, the Lord says to Arjuna in a story where Mahavishnu steals the son of the Brahmana, this supreme Brahman, Tat Parah, Param, Paramam Brahman, spreads throughout the whole universe. Sarvam Vibhajyate Jagat. O Bharat, Bharat, understand that Gyatum Arasi, Brahman is my condensed effulgence. Mamaiva Tad Ghanam Tejo. So again, the next quotation, from the Harivamsha is given. Brahma Samhita says, Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti Kotishvashesha Vasudhadi Vibhuti Bhinnam Tad Brahma Nishkala Mananta Ashesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. So this I worship Aham Bhajami, the Supreme Lord Govinda, Govindam Adi Purusham Tam, whose powerful form radius effulgence. Yasya Prabhava Prabhavitho, known as the undifferentiated, Nishkalam, unlimited, Ananta, all-encompassing Brahman. Tad Brahma Ashesha Bhutam, which is completely distinct from its powers. Vibhuti Bhinnam, displayed in unlimited planets. Kotishu Ashesha Vasudhadi, throughout billions of universes. Jagadanda Koti, Brahma Samhita. So this Brahman effulgence is, coming from Krishna. So Brahma Samhita quotation. The Shruti text Gopal Tapani Upanishad says, Yo aso jagrita swapna shushuptim atiya turyatito Gopal tasmai ve Namo Nama. I offer my repeated respects. Why Namo Nama to Krishna, Gopal Tasmai, who is Yo Aso beyond the states of waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and Brahman. So just imagine how many quotations Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is giving. We all know that Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is a Rasik Acharya who gives very intimate explanations of the pastimes of Krishna, like we were seeing how the gopis are relishing the nectar of Krishna's lips, kissing. So that, we might not relish it much because we might see again from a perverted, understanding of this material world where this is also there. But his tattva explanation, he is a tattvacharya also. So one should try to understand the tattva explanation of Vishwanath Chakra Thakur. So that's completes the explanation. So we saw how many quotations to you know to refute this argument Vishwanath Chakra Thakur gave, that you know that this some persons explain this in another way, but these explanations are fanciful, and the correct explanation he gives here, and he gives the real meaning to this verse, Mamcha Vibhicharena, and explaining that how they attain this liberation. And then he gives the first quotation, Vishnu Puran, then Sridhar Swami's explanation, then he gives Bhagavad Gita quotation, second, then Vishnu Dharma, third, then he gives Vishnu Dharma, fourth explanation, and then Harivamsha, and then Brahma Samhita, and then at last Gopal Tapani Upanishads. So one should relish Tattva also and explanation of this. Okay, so that completes Vishwanath Chakra Thakur's explanation. In the next class, we will study this verse is also quoted by Rupa Goswami in the 5 potent limbs of Bhakti. Bhagavatam, relish the Bhagavatam. So this Nigama Kalpataror Ghalitam is quoted. So there we will study the commentary of Jiva Goswami. Vishwanath Chakra Thakur's commentary is very, very brief, but Jiva Goswami, for every word, Bhagavata Ras Asvado Rasika Saha. So each of the Artha, Bhagavata Artha Rasa Asvado Rasika Saha. So what is Rasa? What is Nigama? What is Ghalitam? What is Phalam? What is Shukamukad? What is Amrita? What is Dravya? So he gives a very deep explanation. So that we will see in one more class. So one more class, we will see that explanation of Jiva Goswami on this. So any questions, any clarifications up till now? No questions on Tattva or Rasa? Yes, Dr. Acha Mataji.
Prabhuji, it's a very silly question, but still I would clarify. I want to get it clarified. Those who get an opportunity to hear or read Bhagavatam, so can we say he is eligible person for the bhakti or to cherish the rasa of all these spiritual scriptures?
So what's your question?
My question is, if I'm getting an opportunity to listen Bhagavatam from bona fide teachers or gurus, so can I say that I'm one of the luckiest person who get an opportunity
Yes,
to
yes.
listen
Hearing
Bhagavatam?
Bhagavatam, most important, from bona fide devotees coming in the Guru Shish Parampara. By that, we get the adhikar to relish the Bhagavatam Ras. That's why repeatedly, Prabhupada hammers that Bhagavatam should be heard in the Guru Shish Parampara. What is the mood we should be hearing? what is the mood we should put forth questions. And Prabhupada repeatedly hammers these professional reciters who recite the Bhagavatam in 7 days and go to the confidential Rasa Panchadhyay and take this whole thing as mundane, you know, activities between a boy and a girl, sex in this world. So Prabhupada hammers and hammers in many of the purports right from first canto to ninth canto. Because if you want to relish the real rasa, which is pure love, which is having no tinge of any mundane sense gratification, then you have to hear it in the bona fide Guru Shivashya Parampara. And the development of this rasa gradually happens from the first canto to the ninth canto. Then you can enter into the pastimes. So we have to gradually understand the tattva presented in the first 9 cantos. The wish, the uh, the first 9 topics are presented to ultimately come to the 10th topic, the ashraya. The categories are ultimately meant to come to the substance. So, like that. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so we'll stop now, and tomorrow we will discuss Jeev Goswami's commentary, which is very, very also interesting. Tomorrow we'll discuss that, and that will complete the discussion of the thematic series 1. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Hare Krishna.